Hello, welcome to your weekly transit update. And well, we've got interesting week, few things going on, but we know now, look at our chart. Look how wide out it is, wide open, whatever you want to do it, how widened out it is. There we go. Um, we're definitely getting some things into a different sector of our lives, but we're going to have our yearly planetary retrogrades. And just one note about any planet turning retrograde, it becomes more powerful, stronger, because from our perspective, it looks like it's slowing down. I mean, we know that planets do not slow down and back up in space, but we know our perspective because we do see the retrograde degrees when we look at ephemeris. So they do slow down and they get way more powerful. And if it's stepping on a degree, I should say a sensitive degree in your chart, it makes it all the more problematic. So we will look at this just a little bit and move my tools out of the way. Maybe, why can't they move out of the way? Okay. So what do we got here? We've got our week, we look at our moons. Let's starting this week with our intense Scorpio moon. And I can attest to that. It's just things are getting a little intense on some levels. And you know that it's a water sign. The moon is in Scorpio, it's a water sign. And we just had Venus and Mercury flip into Cancer. So that's just going to kind of add insult to injury. And then we have we have Saturn and Neptune in Cancer. I mean, I can't talk today, in Pisces. So we kind of have, I mean, with the moon here right now, we have a grand trine in water signs. And a grand trines, all that sounds wonderful, right? They sound great. But they're not all they're cracked up to be. This is bringing, I think, hyper emotionalism in. With the moon in Scorpio already, it's intense, and it's not where the moon likes to be. It's in its fall. Moon does not like to be in Scorpio. It feels out of its element totally there. At least I should say, maybe not put it that way. It's weird. It's not out of its element. It's in its element, but it's out of its nice, warm, nice, nurturing, safe area. Okay, that was a better way to put that. But in Scorpio here, it gets intense. Um, it, Everything is felt a lot more. People, especially Cancerians, are more hypersensitive right now. So all of the rest of us have to be a little careful. We got to kind of walk on eggs. Because you say something, you don't really mean it. And cancers are so sensitive anyway, they take it wrong and then they'll brood over something that was not intended. So watch that. Doesn't have to be Cancer sun, but just, somebody has heavy Cancerian influence in their chart because we're starting to move into that area. And again, right now it's sort of triggered with all this water, all this excess water, and then Pisces bringing up the muddledness here within it. So the moon will be free in just a little while from this little thing it's set in, but it's kind of on another level. It's calming things down from the harried Gemini activities that we've been in, although we're going to continue to see Jupiter and Gemini all year, except for its little dance retrograde and back. But yes, so after we get out of this intense moon here, then tomorrow, we'll move into Sagittarius. The moon will move into Sagittarius, which I like the moon in Sagittarius. It's optimistic. It's the most optimistic place for the moon. I mean, moon is in her most optimistic place when she's there. She lets go of things. Being Sagittarius, being Jupiter ruled, it's the planet of long distance travel, higher education, higher mind. It's got a good sense of adventure. Look over there, brighten up, put a smile on your face. More philosophical or interested in, I don't really like to say religion, but religion and spiritual side of things. Let me put it that way. Prophecy, wisdom, Also, when the moon is here, we can laugh a little too loud. We can be a little bit more, have a tendency to excess and waste and overdoing it. That's, the Jupiterian part of that. Overdo it. But then we come into our Capricorn full moon this week. We're going to have, when the moon goes into Capricorn, it will be going right into it's like as soon as it enters there, it'll be a full moon. And interesting, and I'll show you if I don't forget, the moon will also be in Capricorn. The full moon will be in Capricorn next month as well, which is kind of interesting. And then it'll start going from there into Aquarius and Pisces the following months. But we get 2 months of full moon Capricorn moons. Wow. So this month, when it's well, both, we're going to see it at the beginning, when the sun is at the beginning of Cancer, and then next month when it's at the end of Cancer. So we're going to be pitting home and family against work and occupation and moving into what you want to, your place in the world, people seeing you. That's going to be vying against home and family. You work too much, you never stay home with us, or any kind of example of that. So when the moon's in Capricorn, it's also grounded, it's organized, it's practical, it's business-like. It can get a little cold, but it can bring out being dutiful or cautious. Also pessimistic. Goals for the future become really important. The ability to tend to family business is probably perfect, for this Capricorn moon. What else I was going to say? Acting responsible. You have the ability to respond, to put order in, to help organize parts of your life or other people's life, or put discipline and rules down, and make families, make people toe the line, putting down guidelines. Also listening, listening and learning, watching. But then part of the Capricornness is just watch for becoming too businesslike at the expense of other people's emotions. I kind of do that a lot with Aries. I just want to get things done, get to it. And it's not a Capricorn, but sometimes things square, when you get anything, you can get little offshoots of things squaring it and opposing it. So like we have this cardinal influence. So it could arc out to all the other cardinal signs. Like I'm an Aries, so this is going to square me. Libras, the moon, sun moon's going to square Libras too. It's going to be more intense for Capricorns, and interesting for Cancerians. So here we are today with our moon finishing up the last, it's going to be finishing up the last little bit in Scorpio before it moves on into yay fun Sagittarius. Okay. What else is this month? Let's see. We already said that, yeah, Jupiter, you can see, well, I already said that, but Venus and Mercury just moved into Cancer, and Venus is going really fast, and our Mercury is going really fast. And you'll see in a couple days, the sun will go there too. But let's go to tomorrow. Wednesday, we have our moon moving into Sag. That's probably the biggest thing going on. And then when we go into Thursday, we can see already the sun here think when you look at aspects, we see a 29 degree sun, and we see a 29 degree Neptune. So let's look at the signs they're in, and just to get the aspect, just know, a couple things. You have to look at the mode. The mode here is like we see mutable, and then we see over the sun, Gemini is mutable. Mutable is going to be square, unless it's of course opposite or right on it, but otherwise that's the square. And if it's the same element, it doesn't, if it's not, like if you look at it and you see it in the same element, then that will tell you that it's a trine. Okay, so we just look at that, and we can see that the sun here on June 19th is just approaching that square to Neptune. So this could be a little foggy, a little tomorrow, getting into maybe diffusing your personality, diffusing your vital force, maybe scattering us a bit. And especially if you have things at that 29 degree, that's always a critical degree. And that one's just going to be like that as things go to that 29th degree before they go into the next sign. They have to do some kind of a dance there with Neptune for a while. Okay. Moving on into Thursday, we have here the sun is, we went through that square earlier. And then it moves into Cancer. So the sun kind of has to do a little, dream time, and then it's going to enter Cancer. And now we have this little triplet over here in Cancer, Sun, Venus, and Mercury, and it's just going to, I think, chill the energy a bit more, bringing it more down to earth, maybe more emotional too, with this little trio here. And then it's the think feel when Mercury's there. It's the think with the Mercury and then the feel. So a lot of times this emphasizes some intuitive emotion or intuitiveness with people. All right, anything else? No, we'll move on here. A couple things to go through. Okay, so on Friday, we have Mercury at 9 degrees making a sextile to Mars at 9 degrees. So here we're looking at, we see that they're kind of close, and we note, say this is fixed, and then you go, this is cardinal. It's like, okay, that doesn't tell me anything. But then we'll go to the element. We have a earth, and then we have a water. We'll go, oh, earth and water. Those two are friends. And we know that they're 2 signs apart. So that's giving us our sextile, our 60-degree angle. And Mars and Gemini are not real good friends anyway. I think they kind of consider them enemies in astrology. But Mars is a bit muted. So I think it's going to help out. It's like it has to just, it's being overfed and slowed down and talking about security, Mars. And then it will probably have a much better relationship with Mercury here on Friday, being a sextile. So it might give more energy to feel, more energy to intuit, more thoughts on security and family and home. Because we have all of that mix. We have all this feminine energy here with Mars and everything here in Cancer. Okay. What else I think? And then the moon just starting to move into Capricorn, and we'll see just a little bit. Let me go into the hours. We have our full moon. All right, it's 1 degree. There it is. It's just like, it's pretty close there. It's 19 minutes. I'm not going to bother to get it exactly there, but you see it's 1 degree, 1 degree right here at the beginning of Cancer. In the moon will be 1 degree at Capricorn. So right in the early part of the sign here, we'll have this. And then next month it will be, let me just show you, let's just go ahead a month while we're kind of right here. I got to go back just a hair. Go back a few hours. All right, see, because it just have to be a little bit more lined up. All right, so we'll get the moon at the very end of Capricorn. Next month we'll have a Capricorn moon, full moon, 2 months in a row. All right, so here we go. If I can get it there, it's about right. July 21st. So looky here, we're going to be 29 Cancer and then 29 Capricorn. So this month we're at the 1 degree, and then next month we'll be at 29, and we're going to have 2 Capricorn full moons. Well, what does that mean? I think there should be a little bit more emphasis on either home and family or business or finding your place in the world and balancing that with home and family. 2 months in a row, we've got this. We've got this Cancerian stuff, and this could be the universal family if it's not your own family, and all of it. Your neighbors, your neighborhood, your immediate family, your friends, your online friends. I think this is, in my opinion, it's going to help people come together. There are bad forces trying to make people move apart, trying to create division, trying to create racial problems. And I'm sure that some of that exists, but if we keep giving it attention, it's going to exist more. And the negative powers that be, the mainstream media, are, and when anything is pushed in fear and negativity, it's not a good thing. So in my opinion, this is giving us a couple of months to really mull this over. And then in the United States, we have our birthday on July 4th, which will be kind of right in the middle of the season. We have to come together despite all of our differences, despite all of the lies that are being told to us. A lot of people are waking up to them, but there's still a lot of lies that are being out there. And it's not so much that we have to set everybody straight, but we just have to get along. If you don't get along over on this side, find somewhere to get along. It's like I have some really good friends that I can't talk to about a lot of things, but I don't go there right now. They'll see it, they'll wake up, they'll learn, or I will. But there's a lot of other things to talk about. This is a big world and there's lots of things. And I think we really all need to stay clear of what can drag us into arguments while we get through this tumultuous time. So 2 months of this moon, sorry, I can't do that at the same time we go month. 2 months of this type of energy, that's kind of odd. We don't have the same, sign, new or full moons that often. So pay attention to this. And, really, sometimes it's like, when you get caught up in something, you can't stop it. It's such a knee-jerk reaction with things. I think we all have to watch that tendency. And I think this is kind of what it's helping us all to do. All right, Friday. All right, so that's kind of interesting. And then interesting though, a Friday, where we have the summer solstice a couple days before or day before, and then we get the full moon. But then on the full moon, we also get Mercury in a good communication with Mars. I think that's a good thing. The communication with the energy are at least on the same page. All right, Saturday. Now we got moon is fully in Capricorn. So we're going to be business-like, attending to things, in the aftermath of the full moon. But then we have, after the sun, anything going into the new sign, okay, at the end, we have one problem, the 29 degrees, we have the aspect, whatever it is, wherever, who's making it, to Neptune. And then when it goes into the 1 degree, we got the aspect to Pluto. So right at the end and then the new beginning, we've got Neptune and Pluto aspects, depending on, what's doing the move there. So, moon or the sun, they had to square, trine over to Neptune. So it got a little maybe confusing, a little dreamy, a little maybe, kind of out there. Well, yeah, no, what am I saying? Because it was at the end of the other sign. It was a square. It was squaring that. That's what I'm saying. It made that more dreamy, more difficult, more hard to reach. And then as it goes into Cancer, then we have a quincunx. We have that 150 degrees, and you can find those because you find the opposite. That opposite of Cancer is Capricorn, and then you go the next sign over, either side. So Aquarius or Sag would have been, making an aspect here to the sun. But we got sun over to Pluto here, so that's the 150 degree quincunx over that way. All right, and then Sunday, let's see, is there anything else I want to tell you about Saturday? Maybe that, the sun and Pluto, it's just kind of maybe, at least Pluto is, I don't know, it's retrograde. It's starting to, move forward a little bit, but anything that's been, turning around is going to be not moving a whole lot. And Pluto's not moving a lot anyway. So, it's intense. It's an intense one. And then as we go into Monday, it's just kind of chill. There's not a whole lot still going on. So they're still kind of hanging at those other degrees. But what else did I want to show you here? So I already showed you the month ahead. I'm going to go back 2, 3. Okay, there we go. So, sun again at the end of 29 degrees, and then it moves into the next sign. So keep in mind as that happens. So what are we on Thursday? We've got that transition from kind of busy mind, busy ego, and then we kind of get it kind of hangs up there with Neptune. So things can get confusing. That's what I was the last thing I wanted to tell you. Things can get a little confusing on Thursday. Maybe try to remember maybe to wait, take some deep breaths, wait to the next day after it passes this, and then we will get more of clarity. Because when the sun goes into Cancer, remember, Cancer is a cardinal sign, even though it's like all mushy and soft inside, home, family, it's still a cardinal sign. It's like a fire hose. A fire hose is water coming out really fast. That's cardinal energy of water. So, just because it's water doesn't make it's like nice soft rain. There could be some intensity with that. So remember that urgency, things that come up quickly, but then they probably will go down just as quickly. All right, let me do a quick look here. Anything else I wanted to tell you about? Oh, yeah. No, not tell you about. Okay, 2 full moons. Oh, and then we have some planet next week. We'll get into a little bit more, but we have some retrogrades happening. We have both Saturn and Neptune slowing way down. They're not going to move a whole lot. They haven't. Let's just look ahead. Look at, they're not moving too much. And they're going forward. And then you'll see next week. See, look at here. We've got Saturn at the end of the month stationing. It's their station, and it's not going to move too much there. Then you'll see a few days later, there it is, Neptune stations, and they're going to be here. Look at, let's go even a month ahead. Month ahead and look at their degrees. Where are they? There they are. Saturn moves 1 degree backwards in a month. Neptune is not going to move a whole lot. But this is interesting now that Neptune is getting off of that 29 degree. Okay, it was like it goes almost all the way, and look at all the stuff with the war, that we've been the Ukraine war, all the money and all the stuff. And Neptune, when it gets into Aries, I just remember that is tendency toward war. So we may hopefully have some time when Neptune backs off, that maybe we the people can come together and stop this nonsense. So yeah, that's a big deal. Okay. And then here you can see, let's go another month. September. Okay, it goes back 3 degrees. It's only moved, Saturn will have moved 3 degrees. It's be starting to gain speed in September. So it's going to be dragging butt. And then look at Neptune, same thing. It starts to at least finally get off of that 29 degree. Look at here. I just pulled it here. It's at 59 minutes, but finally got off of that 29 degree. So this will be big, but we've got a couple months of that happening, and they're intense. It's going to be intense. It's going to be foggy and kind of, it's back right in the middle of that muddled Neptune, Pisces ruled area. So I don't know, learn how to swim, keep a lifeline, make sure that you know where shore is, know where your safety ground is. Things could get muddled, confused, spaced out, phased out, disbanded, confused. I think I already said that one. So watch for that. Saturn in Pisces is not the strongest place for it. It's very malleable. And then Neptune there. Remember, next year they're going to walk into Aries together. But then one other thing, during this next few months, I think, as the planets turn the outer planets turn retrograde, we'll have 3 here. It will take some of the emphasis off of things. And here we look also, Uranus, we know that's retrograde as well. Here, August, and then by September, it's somewhere between the end of August and beginning of September that Uranus will go as well. So we're going to have a big change, with our retrograde season with the outer planets, which should give us a little reprieve. a little time to work on some things maybe that aren't fully baked yet in all of our lives in all kinds of situations. So again, look at those degrees, where they're at in your chart. Kind of keep your head cool this week as we go into emotional Cancer. Be careful of saying things too curt or too much or ignoring Cancers or, oh God, he's got to kind of walk on eggs a little bit. It's just a little bit sensitive. So yeah, I guess that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so that's it for this week. Stay safe, make friends, be tolerant, turn the other cheek, be peaceful, but still stand your ground. Make sure that you call things out when they're wrong, that you correct people, but in a nice way. All right, that is it for this week, and we'll see everybody next week. And bye for now.